Hey, how you doing? That's good. Don Jose, how's everything going in New York? Is it nice weather out there today? For some reason, it feels like the 70s over here, but then that's just me. I mean, that's what it feels like over here. Yeah, well, tonight's topic is about censorship on the internet. So, I guess I'm trying to educate people on how the business practices in China work. So, certain people don't, everybody thinks that most of these businesses in China are privately owned, but what a lot of people don't know is that before anybody actually makes a business, they'll have to go through the Chinese Communist Party for approval to make their business. So while everybody's talking about the free economy, I guess it's a free economy for people who are not citizens in China, but people who are citizens in China, like the Jack Ma's and all the other billionaires that live in China, they're billionaires, all right, but they don't really wield any power because the Communist Party of China could tell them to shut up or they could lose their assets over time through the government. So they always have to be in accordance to the CCP wishes. Um, in other news, all right, let's see. Good evening, Don Jose. How you doing?
Good evening, Don Armando. Thank you very much for allowing me on your platform. Um, it's funny when you're talking about censorship. Actually, that was the first topic that I covered on my channel, and I gave certain examples of where there have been attempts to try to limit the amount of free speech. Um,
Right.
yeah, and actually, I'm going to be talking about TikTok and whether it's owned by the Chinese this Tuesday night on my channel.
I know. I'll try to be in attendance if I'm not working or I'm at the gym, because it's like in one side it's like everybody want to say like, oh, the Chinese is doing this and that, but in the other side is sometimes your own government that's trying to shut you up. So therefore it's like a double sided coin that certain people don't know is when their rights are being taken or something of that nature.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be sharing my thoughts and okay, so I'm gonna be sharing my thoughts and some information regarding that situation. Also, I'm gonna be addressing the pushback that Ebony K. Williams have received regarding her remarks about the bus driver.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, they still talking about that. I mean, at the end of the day, this one, I'm just
Yeah.
saying the public. I mean, if people, I mean, men and women, if they're so surprised of what a woman is has to say about her preference or anything like that, I mean, I don't see why a person's preference has to be news. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, I could be the Joe Schmo and let's say if I was single, right? I'll say I like Asian women. Okay, like if you look at back in 20 years ago, this would not even be a hot topic on what they or what a person prefers, right? But now, since we live in the age of being oversensitive, everybody wants to cop a feeling just because, oh, this person is this and that. But there's an ideology behind that. And I'm gonna try to expound on that. Apparently during like the maybe 1950s or
Well,
60s, right? I'm just paraphrasing from what I've read, right?
yes.
You had certain people you've had certain people who were that they were on that they were everything like that. It was like you had certain people in the African American community that wanted to be on code. So now you have certain people who they think they're on code when they're really not. So therefore, when a person's trying to be on code and it was like, okay, well, you have to support our ignorance too. And since you're not going to go and date a bus driver because of who you are or whatsoever, you're not supporting our ignorance. When the fact is, there's certain stuff which is the African American culture, which is not the African American culture. For example, nowadays you have certain people that that they're doing 3 or 4 actions like twerking and running their street organizations and you have certain people who are so desensitized that they think that that's their culture. When the fact is, if you actually look back from the African Americans from like 100 years ago, the ones who were educated, the ones who were doctors, the ones who were lawyers, the ones who actually were inventors, that was culture and people who actually wrote literary rights. Now you have certain people that they write something literary, but the thing is though, is not nothing to elevate the mind. It's all about sex. It's all about drug dealing. It's all about what happens happens in the hood. And they expound on black experiences like in Canada and in Europe. But instead, they want to say that, okay, the black experience in America is supreme, and everybody who's not with it is not sold on just expanded their minds. But that's just my opinion, though. My humble.
Okay, this is what my point of view, and to try to explain the reason for the pushback. First of all, she does come across as a very masculine female, so that puts some people off putting. Then she's talking about excellence in the African American community, but yet she was engaged to a white man. And the fact that she expressed her words without any okay. So I think what some people see is just some some things. Now I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. She can date whoever she wishes to date, as far as her preferences. However, the caveat beyond that is that if she's talking about dating people in her professional level, that's her professional level. Men in that professional level are few and far between. Okay. And she's competing against younger version of herself. So that's all I said.
Right.
So and I mean, and when everything is said and done, what she needs to do, she needs to down and assess herself. Why is it she's not doing well in relationships? I mean, she could be part of the problem. It could be other things, but we don't know her for Adam. So I think that's part of the pushback that she's getting, and she, her remarks are perceived to be disrespectful regarding blue collar workers. And the fact of the matter is, you need blue collar workers for this country to function. I mean, without the blue collar workers, I mean, it does not go very far.
You're right. It's like you have blue collar workers, I guess myself included, and it's like to me, I don't really get mad or angry or whatever the case may be because at the end of the day, I'm going to do my job. A white collar worker will do their job. They could talk about whatever, but yet you don't know that that person is going to be a blue collar worker forever. That person might be the boss of their own company. So therefore, if you're a boss of your own company, you're not even blue collar or white collared anymore. You're you're actually above that. You're a business owner now. So certain people can everything like that on their professional level when they have like they have the technicalities or office politics or whatever. But then if you really look at it, and I'm just saying for people that I know who are on white collar workers, being a white collar worker is not all what it's breaking up to be because there's actually, from what I've heard, constant competition. And then from people that I know that work in the white collar sector, well, you think that okay, you have to be professional and everything like that. Some of these people might be as nasty as a person who's a blue collar worker or far behind because it's not about nasty attitudes. It's just that as soon as you started in a white collar job, let alone if a person's black or Latino, they'll actually see that person as a threat, and they'll try to do anything try to know about your personal business and everything like that. See what you sometimes you have certain people who are so how should I say conniving to the point that they want to see where you how much you pay rent, so therefore they could try to make you homeless. So it's like it's a lot when it's white collar work. If you're not like in the managerial position, you have to make sure that everything's on time, or else you might be the next person out of there, and you might be the best person for the job. But then if that person will try to lie on your name just to get a position, and then 9 times out of 10, that person the company might try to call you back because they see that that person was not fit for your job. So that white collar position, it could be a it could be a two-bladed sword when it comes to the professional lives and everything like that. Depending on the
Mhm. Well, I happen to be a white collar worker myself. The difference is I'm a white collar worker as a municipal employee. So therefore, it's a different situation
right,
altogether. Because my position is through civil service exams, and once you complete probationary period, I mean, it's very difficult for you to lose your employment. I mean, you can be terminated, but there's a whole lengthy process. So it's totally different to say someone who's a white collar person in the private sector, like a company or whatever. Um,
yeah,
but as of a blue collar worker, I always mindful that work each type of work is worthy of its own respect.
yes, and it's like and my job it's alright, but then you have certain people with hidden agendas. I mean, like for example, like I'm not gonna shout out the company where I work for because you got certain people who will try to make up a lie or whatsoever if you actually say your place of employment. So my thing is that
Hmm.
with with the company that I've worked for, and I'm about to make 4 years within that company. Not only I have faced a lot of people who are how old did you say? You had certain people with mental problems, and then you have certain people with jealousy problems,
Hmm.
which I've faced. And then I just recently discovered that a higher up is that some higher ups who are female or males, well, mostly the females, they'll try to act like they
Hmm.
want to be your friend or they want to try to see if you're attractive or anything like that. I'm saying for people who are melanated like myself, because I'm a melanated Latino. Um, it turns out that a higher up, while that person was trying to stare at me or anything like that, which I'm not going to give attention to that person because I'm married and I don't workplace relationships after 2013. So for me,
Hmm.
that person trying to do whatever to try to make me look at that person and stuff is very pathetic. And then that I guess I've known over the years that told me that okay, that person, the only reason that they always act like that is because they they love to set up a man in a in a Me Too atmosphere, if you get what I'm saying. So a person might be
Hmm.
thinking like, okay, going out in this private whatever. The next thing you know, you might get an allegation of being anything as far as the Me Too movement, when the fact is that person might think like, okay, that person really feeling you, but yet that person's trying to set you down for a failure. So when I heard that, I was like, well, yeah, I always stay. I have like a reputation to maintain, and I'm not going to go damage my reputation for anybody within those confines. So and then that person who let me know, she said that there were other people of that aspect also. So I just go to work, I just stack my bread, and I go home. I don't really hang with anybody I not for nothing. I might be cool with you in the job, but then when it's personal and stuff, it's not nothing personal, but it's just that I just don't let everybody know about me personally. So therefore, because I don't know if you're gonna go and try to be if you have a genuine friendship or you're just trying to assassinate my character and see what I'm doing. And during the four and during like the years or whatsoever, right? I mean, for the 2 years that I've had a beef within that job before
Mhm.
that person's um, employment got terminated, that person did not like me because over a woman that I never really talked to. Now, in this person's mind, he feels that
Mhm.
this woman was looking at me and everything like that. When the fact is that maybe she might have been looking at me or whatsoever. I didn't care because I was there to do a job, not to try to be a poppy chulo in the job. Because being a poppy
Mhm.
chulo doesn't get anywhere. So after a while,
Mhm.
this guy, me and this person had numerous confrontations that it could have led to either me or him being terminated from the job. And it was not only me that this guy had a serious disrespect for that everybody had to confront him. Certain people who are regular workers and supervisors had confrontations with that guy also. And all this guy's mindset was, oh, he thought that he was going to beef with certain individuals. He thought in his mind was with this female. When the fact is, the female that he wanted doesn't have a good command or little command of the English language. And whenever he thought that he was going to try to get with this female, he always tried to bully um, certain people of Hispanic descent because he thinks in his mind they were supposed to translate to him what this female was saying to him. So therefore, he could try to um, make this make this female his mate. When the fact is, all the stuff that he was doing, ill treating the people who spoke Spanish, whatever, there was actually telling that female to get away from him, as of them were helping him. And then after a while, I guess after that female left, and he had nothing really to start a problem with me. It was other stuff that this guy tried to start a problem with me because he saw that a lot of people respected me because
Mhm.
I didn't really start problems, and I'm not gonna go and start problems on anybody in the job. But him, he always, whenever I took a vacation, he always tried to ask somebody, "Oh, what was I doing?" or whatever the case may be. Remind you, you're not my friend. Why are you asking everybody else that you think that are cool with me? You're trying to ask everybody what the heck I'm doing. When the fact is, if you was really a good worker, you would not ask everybody else what I'm doing. You could have had your own vacation. But little that I knew, and I found this term, and I found this out afterwards. This guy did not even know how to read. So it just seemed I now I see why I had to go through this crap because this guy did not know how to read. This guy, whenever he took off, he didn't know how to read or write. But yet he was always on Facebook trying to add people so therefore they could find business about people he didn't like. So in a way, it was childish. And afterwards, I'm just saying, as being a blue collar worker, I just don't have a lot of time for negativity. So that's why I try to keep my moves silent as possible, whether it's personal or professional.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, see, with me, it's a different situation because in the section I work, I'm the only male employee, and most of the other women are in their 40s or 50s. There's like one or two people in their 60s. So I fortunately have a good rapport with them. Of course, among the union reps, I have two individuals which I have issues with. Um, One is pure ghetto, and the other one, she's a Karen with anger management issues. Just involvement with these two individuals. And of course, we all have haters here in this YouTube streets. And also, we have people who are as fake as a $9 bill. I mean, in time you can tell who's genuine and who is fake. There always going to be people that go to try to rob you of your peace.
Yeah, I understand.
Hmm. Yeah, but when everything is said and done, my mission is to be the best version of myself, not just as a worker, not just as a union rep, but also as a YouTube creator. But one thing I find interesting is that I always seem to manage to get into these beeps because the people I hang out with, they're those who have beefs with them. And they cannot understand the concept is that if people are cool with me, I'm cool with them. And I don't betray my friends. I don't turn on my friends. Unfortunately, some people, they don't understand that. I think what happened is that Don was muted because in the background somebody playing some music. So and he doesn't want to get hit with a strike. So that's the reason why we don't hear anything from him. Okay. Good evening, Black. Okay, let's see how you say the name. Pupicare. Um, we're just having open discussion in regards to censorship, and particularly regarding TikTok. Good evening. I don't know if this is your first time here on this channel. If it is, welcome aboard. And if you have not subscribed, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to Don Armando's channel. Yeah. Well, This is how I see it. Everyone has a right, as long as you don't defame the person, to say what's on your mind. Now, people have two choices. They can listen to what you're saying, or they can ignore you and just keep it going. What gets to be a problem is that people get upset because certain people say certain things that they don't like. And this is particularly true regarding these YouTube streams. Now, there's literally hundreds of thousands of, well, okay, well, you're entitled to your opinion. That's all I'm going to say about it. There are literally hundreds of thousands of YouTube creators. And if you don't like one, um, just ignore it and just find someone that you can deal with. But hopefully, Don Armando enjoy the room, so we can.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, because and I had to block because of noise whatsoever. And thank you for clarifying that because certain people they don't understand. So hopefully, I guess maybe in 2 months, whenever I actually make like a studio proof with phone proof or whatsoever, maybe I could actually have the sound quality I want, and I will not have to worry about this problem anymore, or get a condenser mic, whatever the case may be.
Now, Don Armando, there's a person that's appearing in the chat. Black puppet people here. Do you know anything about him? I'm assuming it's a him. It
I
could be a she
mean,
for all I know.
I I mean, that person, because you got a lot of people who are macho haters or whatsoever the case may be. So he's been like sometimes on my panel, not panel, but I'm saying on the chats. So he says a certain stuff which is funny, and that's it. So you know, he's it's like there's another guy who I know, and his name's Atson. So therefore, whenever they come on my page or whatever, they act with their insults of a certain content. They actually have some knowledge also about certain stuff I didn't know about. So I mean, this guy Black, he's cool. So as long as
Okay.
he doesn't talk anything about the other content creator, I'm good.
Okay. No, it's okay. Well, one thing we have to be mindful of that while we both try to create an atmosphere where people can express their point of view, we are going to be faced with haters now and then.
Right.
Yeah, and it seems like among people that has issues with me now is the Owl Show.
Mm. May I say something? He doesn't have issues with you.
Go ahead.
He doesn't have issues with you. All right, Don Jose. He has issues with with the high
Hmm.
rent he has to pay in Hawaii. So come on, and it's and in Hawaii to buy a house right there, and certain people are being pushed out. I say he's not really a native Hawaiian. He's just stuck there. So so why he has like his issue projecting towards you, it's not real because at the end of the day, he has his issues, which means that he has to go around and pay their rent. So therefore, why he has more of an issue with you, that looming issue of paying that high rent is going to be in his forescope, and that's why he's miserable. So therefore, he could have an issue with you whatsoever. But guess what? He got blocked. So therefore, he will have an issue with himself. That's it.
You know, I've been looking about the whole situation between him and Gigi. Okay, and and the
Right.
fact of the matter is this. Okay, now it's a situation where he felt that he was set up by Gigi and multi regarding certain people from the so-called sector. Okay, which I was, I mean, I have not seen all the footage or whatever, but what I am able to see is the following: is that you have certain individual that, for whatever reason, have an issue with Al, and all of a sudden, Gigi and Multi are being blamed for it, and then he's taking on some authority of which he has none. Mainly the fact that Gigi and Multi have no authority to talk about biracial issues, and that they have been excommunicated, so to speak, and that I have no right to discuss when it comes to anything regarding biracial issues. That's censorship in my book. Okay. Um, and the fact of the matter is, whatever issue that he had, he could have done the mature, responsible thing. Spoken with Gigi in private, express his feelings and how he got upset, and then the two of them would try, see if they can, resolve the issue privately. No, what he does, he goes over to a certain individual from Canada, who many people have issues with it, and all of a sudden they're buddies under the concept that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So it
Mm.
was, it was only like two
I mean, to
months
me, it's
ago.
look.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's. I could say it depends on whatever, but then if you really look at it, the enemy, and if you actually look at it, the enemy, my enemies is my friend thing. It's been like that. I'm saying as far as warfare and everything like that because certain people need allies, right? I'm just saying like in the case of war, right? So in that case, I'm just saying you have certain people who actually gravitates towards that philosophy, meaning that okay, I gain an ally on whoever's beefing with who. So that's where I guess that philosophy is like, okay, my enemy is my friend or whatsoever the case may be. When the fact is that that could actually be messed up in the long run if you get what I'm trying to say. Because you have certain people
Yeah.
that they will be like, okay, yeah, that they'll be like, okay, yeah, we're gonna that's my
Well,
enemy, that's my friend and everything like that. But yet when they actually go and do the work and where they think that person is well off as an ally, whatsoever the case may be, it just it just turns out to be it just turns out to be worse than they will be the worst thing that they ever imagined. So that's a
hmm
part of warfare and leadership also, and it happens every day. Sorry to say.
hmm I understand that, but I don't base my friendship based on whoever is the enemy of my enemy. I don't base on that. I base it on, do we have certain things, do we have common interests? Is there something, that's redeeming about the other person?
Right.
So that's how I function. Okay. And I mean, you can function that way, but it's so artificial and phony, and after a while, it gets to a point when people don't know if they really are your friend because they like you, or it's just simply because you beeping against someone
It's
that
because
they're
of that
beeping with.
money.
I mean, yeah. Now to address communism, all I'm going to say it's great in theory, but in practice, it doesn't really work out because there's not many countries out there that is pure communist, and there's not many countries that really are capitalistic. But look, the people who are my friends, they're my friends because there's some things about them that they like about me, and there's some things about them that I like. Okay, that's how I base uh, my friends. Okay, and I'm very fortunate that I have a lot of people who actually support my platform. Okay, because they've like literally hundreds of thousands of people, platform creators they can support. The fact that they chose to support me, I mean, that really touches my heart.
Amen.
And I feel the same way regarding your platform as well. I mean, we both trying to create a platform when people are allowed to express their point of views as they see fit, and both of us seems to be at one point or another talking to associate with. Um, you regarding you regarding Zacharias, and me regarding uh, multi, and for a while last year, Denise MK, Radical Latino, and Brotap.
Yeah. I mean, Rotep is cool and everything like that. It just and even though I think me and him are in the same city, me and him haven't really linked up yet. But I watch some of his videos, so he seems like a cool dude.
He is.
Yeah, I mean when it was like he had a video which I guess regarding the Hispano taps or whatever, it was actually funny. So
Yeah. Mhm.
and it was
Yeah.
it was to the point that I had to laugh because the way that he made that production was just laughable. Let's be for real. Good
Yeah.
evening, Zach.
But particularly his production regarding the Dominican. Good evening.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing
We're
good.
doing fine, thank you. How are you today?
Uh, I do apologize for interrupt. I'm on the bus right now. I gotta go to the store right quick. So later on, I'm gonna come on there if you don't. If you what time you'll be off? On the live stream, Mondo. How you doing, Mr. Jose?
I might cut it off like around 9 or
I'm
so.
doing fine. Jose is fine.
All right, I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna go off the panel, but go to the store right quick, and then I'm gonna go to
All right.
I ain't want nobody where I at. Well, I'm gonna go to the store right quick, and then I'm gonna come back home. Hopefully before 8 over here, because I know it's 9 o'clock in y'all area in Eastern, but it's
Mhm.
7. It's 6:26 over here. It's 7:27 where you're at. So hope I get it before y'all close live. All right, talk to you later.
Okay. Good evening, OG Guerasso. Welcome aboard. Uh, I hope you're doing well tonight. It looks like Don Armando had to mute himself because unfortunately there's some music playing in the background. So,
No, I'm actually here. I was just listening because sometimes Zacharias he has you know he has like I guess faulty audio sometimes. So I'll just chilling back and see what was happening.
oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's just that, like I said before, and actually, my name for I have a name for all these characters, which is basically it's a collective known as the circus, because to me there are a bunch of clowns. Okay, each one of them in their own unique way, and
Hmm.
when you I mean, how do you deal with a clown? You laugh at the
Easy,
clown and you just keep it moving.
or you just don't deal with them at all because at the end of the day, certain people they might be laughing and
No,
stuff like that, but then sometimes this is why I guess certain people they don't. If you could go and have a person that'll be funny in your circle and stuff, but yet if that person's funny and he doesn't contribute to your friendship or to anything just to make you laugh, and then you've seen a lot of stuff which is not going towards your benefit, why would you need a clown anyway? You get what I'm trying to say?
yeah. Look, I'm blessed to have a wide range of people who support my channel. Okay, and I'm just looking, and I recently I've been looking at my analytics, and about 40% of my audience are from the ages 25 to 34, which I think they're the Gen Z crowd. So that
Right, because
that means that out to a lot of young people. I find amazed, but I try to keep um, my content, relative, and I try to keep it educational and humorous at times.
right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but it's just that I swear when I look at some of these YouTube creators, sometimes I just have to laugh because it's like, are you kidding me? I mean, they'll be repeating the same talking points day in, day out, and they don't change. And one thing that as a serious YouTube creator is to adapt and
Hmm.
be mindful. Okay, mindful of yourself, mindful of your content, and always strive to improve it. Okay, because if you stay stuck in your same routine, or after a while, you become stale.
Right.
And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to do things with my channel. Um, because of course I want to get to the point when I be monetized. Um, it's just that we both have a long way to go.
Yes, we do actually. So therefore I'm trying to see like how to be engaging because there's a guy that I know that I talk to sometimes and I'm actually on his Discord. His name is Sergio Kwan. So me and him, I'm not gonna go around and say anything. I just ask like advice and whatever. But he's actually a real cool dude, and I'll be on his Discord.
Mhm.
So therefore, we'll be having jokes and having fun and everything like that. I mean, as far as personal, like nobody's dissing each other or anything like that. It's just straight jokes and just building and everything like that. So I'm trying to see like because his approach is like how he has his YouTube is that he tells the stories of certain certain neighborhoods, I guess pertaining to Asians or blacks, as I see. So therefore, he tries to gets the story of people who are just in that lifestyle, whatever. But he actually does it with in a respectful manner.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Interesting. OG, what else is on your mind? And I see here we have
No.
Juan Paja. Good evening. Oh, that's you. Oh, okay. Okay.
Bro, so he says that he's an Arab living in Spain. Oh, okay. Hmm.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess I'll have so I guess I'll have to
Yeah, that's
change my
interesting
picture or
because
whatever.
yeah,
I got certain
yeah,
people they just like,
that's interesting. Mhm.
yeah, everybody likes this audio avatar. I'm like, okay. Well, I have just changed to a new one.
Mhm. Okay. Well, I just learned how to share on my
Yeah.
platform. As far as other YouTube creators. So I what I did was there was a stream that Gigi did, so I just shared my community and encourage others to subscribe to her channel. So I just learned that. Well, actually, thanks to Gigi, she taught me how to do that,
All
and
right. I
I'm
mean,
just working.
it's like with me, I'm actually currently live on Twitch and on Twitter. I might be live on Facebook, but then I it's like I might have to go live on my other page on Facebook because I got several of my wife's family members. So I'm not going to go and try to go that route because some of them may not understand what I'm saying, and some of them might have political or other views different from ours or maybe my viewers. So with that said, that's why I just do it from YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So that's what it is for me.
Mhm. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Well, speaking of a YouTube creator that's doing wow, one of it is Keisha. I mean, I think she's getting close to 300 subs.
I mean, yes. I mean, I lost like two subs, and then I gained one. So that's I guess good. So let's
Well,
see.
well, the fact of the matter is that there are weeks, there are days when you lose a sub, you gain a sub. Actually, one day, I actually lost 15 subs in one shot, which is like, in fact,
Wow.
not only did it happen to me, it happened to Gigi and it happened to Malty.
Wow. I mean, if you actually look at it, maybe some of those subs were people who were actually um
Okay. Okay. I think Don Armando had to mute himself again to avoid getting because someone playing in the background. Okay. I'm fortunate that I do not have that trouble, mainly because I live on the 10th floor. And of course, I have neighbors who sometimes play music in the background. So, um, that's what happens when you do not have like a soundproof environment in order to do your streams. Um, but but as I was saying before, I'm really happy with the level of success that Keisha has achieved. Okay, and like I said, she's close to 300 subs. Okay, and all I can say is shout out to her for all her success. And really, I don't, I'm not jealous in the least bit. In fact, I'm happy with her success. And what that does is it causes me to try to um, do better as it's pertaining to my content. So okay.
Another issue that I've been wanting to talk about as well, and I don't know, maybe it's somebody that could
Sorry.
actually say, all right, maybe some of my West Coast viewers might try to talk about this, but there's a guy that's been a personage of I guess West Coast hip hop, even though he's not really that talented in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And he's all and his name all is a controversy. Um, this individual is by the name of what's his name? Crap, got it off the tip of my tongue. Um, of Whack 100.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, he's actually has a controversy because he actually talks about certain people who are passing and stuff. He was saying a lot of disparaging things about the memory or the state of Nipsey Hussle, and certain people in the United States in the East Coast are like, hey, how come you letting this guy, there's nobody saying talking about the guy that actually made sure your community was right and such. Like how you gonna let this nobody disrespect the memory of this man like that. So therefore he's always been like the center of controversy, whether what he does or certain people how they perceive him as what's his what's his sexuality is, whatsoever the case may be. So he's so his concept has always been controversial, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I
I
guess
see.
regarding this time about WAC 100 is that I guess that is a new controversy with him and somebody else, and people who are riding with him, they actually act like he rules the West Coast when the fact is he really doesn't. So it's just certain
Mm-hmm.
stuff that's going on within the hip hop sphere, which I'm not actually knowledgeable about because I'm not in the West Coast. So I want to know, why is it that certain people, they gravitate towards a man that is not actually paying them just or doing or have any benefit in supporting this man. So I just want to see what's the drive is about on why you're going to support a man that's not beneficial to either your empowerment or your standard of living. So that's why I want to know. I just want to ask that question.
Hmm. Yeah, that would be an interesting question indeed.
Yep. And then there was another and then there was another content creator. Shout out to, I forgot what his name is, but he went up and made an incorrect statement about P Diddy and the Biggie situation. His untimely demise and who this person was with, right? So when I was just looking at a question, trying to tell me I'm not from the town or I don't know what I'm talking about, I had to correct this man. I'm from the Bronx and I lived in the era. So in the era of Notorious B.I.G. or in Diddy, I'm saying when he came out and everything like that, I'm just saying from a recollection of a preteen living in this city. I'm talking about like 95 to 1997 in the Bronx. I mean, maybe not to, maybe I'm saying right there. I'm not, because I guess I wasn't really around street dudes, but I'm just saying in general. Because when you're a 13-year-old or so, you didn't really know much. I didn't see anybody wearing blue or red bandanas until maybe later, after the passing of Biggie, and then going towards 1998. I might be wrong, but and then there might have been certain stuff that might have happened. But I'm just saying, from my recollection as a kid, I did not really see the gangsters and everything like that wear bandanas to establish their dominance or their street organizations until like maybe later in 1997 and early 1990 in the Bronx. I cannot speak for other places as in Harlem or Brooklyn or Queens or maybe Long Island for that example or Staten Island. Well, I'm just saying from my standpoint that this guy was making a claim that Diddy and Biggie were a part of a street organization. When the fact is, a member who was a part of Biggie, who was a part of Biggie's crew, by the name of C Gutto, he actually said he was the only one within the street organization because that was what he was down with, and Biggie and Diddy had no official standing or joined what he joined. It was only him. So when a person is making a
Hmm.
bold claim saying, "Oh, this was their set," I mean, it doesn't make any sense that okay that Diddy or Biggie would actually join a street organization at that time if they're actually being successful businessmen and artists. The reason why I say that is because like in New York, I guess at the time, the age to join a street organization had to be, and I'm saying street organizations in the street level will be like, okay, will be like maybe in the teenage years or the preteen years. Maybe the latest will be possibly in their 20s, depending if they're having a long time incarceration or not. But as far as two successful men who are being artists and they're just talking about what they're doing, joining a street organization, and a person actually saying, "Oh yeah, this is their set." And prior to that, maybe Biggie went to the West Coast, but during this so-called East Coast West Coast beef, I didn't really see anybody trying to join those organizations. I might be wrong, but that's all I'm saying from my view. And shout out to Showface News, by the way. But you know, I just have to say that he was wrong in that question.
Mhm. Okay, I see. But you know something. Um, when it comes to you know dealing with certain individual with these YouTube streets, um, sometimes the best thing to do is just to ignore them completely. You
Yeah.
know, and let them say whatever they want. I mean, it seems like since last year there is this crusade to prove that. I mean, first of all, people are obsessed if they trying to prove that you're not who you are. Okay, so
Hmm.
they were not when you were born. They were not there
Exactly.
during your um, important moments of your life. So basically, their word and 275 will get them a ride on the subway, and it applies to me as well. It's just it's just this whole notion, like particularly one person that's paying a narrative of who I am not, and the fact that certain individuals have certain issues regarding the people that I choose to hang with. Well, all I'm going to say is to those people, do not let the Lord hit you with the good Lord split you.
Right.
Okay? It's just that these people are just pathetic, apathetic, weak.
Hmm.
Okay? But speaking about pathetic and weak, the hybrid figure and mulatto vanguard.
I mean, I guess they're beefing. Well, I guess they're so last week. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that.
Okay, well, actually, the whole beef had to do with the belief that hybrid is hanging out with Gigi, and that mulatto vanguard just appropriated hybrid's concepts,
Mm,
and that's the reason for the
interesting.
beef.
I mean, that's a stupid reason for a beef, actually. But then again, I can't really.
Okay,
It's like, for example,
well,
right?
remember, yeah,
I'm just saying, like, okay, certain people will talk about talking points or whatsoever the case may be. I have my own. So you have certain people that I guess in these YouTube streets who are, like it was like one of these live streams that I found out that my haters were actually bent on trying to dox me. Not one, but two of them were actually obsessed and trying to prove that I am who I am not. And it gotten to the point that I guess when they tried to or didn't try, whatever the case may be, that they couldn't really do a doxing it to begin with because to their disappointment, everything that I've been saying is true. So what a person does in order for them not to go and apologize to you, they try to gaslight everybody else, and it's going so bad on their sector. It's to the point that the other day I was on a chat, right, and it was like, oh, this guy's a fake. He's a Creole and stuff. Remind you when I've or try to use my words, which is actually misrepresented, and I was actually talking about my late aunt and her life and what she did with her life. But people, they'll try to take bits and pieces because they don't. Because one thing I could actually say that my haters do not comprehend. They only hear what they want to hear, and then make up their own choices. I'm like, I guess comprehension in while it was in high school was not their biggest thing. I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Like for example, I, I'm going to put myself on it, right? And you're a very learned man, Jose Negron. If I say
Mhm.
both of my parents were born in the Dominican Republic, on my dad's side, he's mostly Dominican. On my mom's side,
Yeah.
her parents came from St. Kitts, but she was born in the Dominican Republic. Where would you go and off and say, "Oh, this guy's not a Dominican. He's from St. Kitts." When the fact is, I just laid it out what I am, but yet you just took a piece which did not go with your understanding, and you're trying to go and fit the narrative. When the fact is, I've actually said what I am. So, with that narrative and people who actually co-sign that narrative, it just tells me on how people are just they can't comprehend other people's experiences, and their gaslighting skills are terrible. I mean, it was even to the point that this person went up and tried to say that my wife is Egyptian. With all due honesty, Don Jose, I mean, my wife have in certain aspects she's a very private woman. She does not really be on the panels like that. But if she hears something, she'll just say what she has to say. And I guess it was on Ramon's page or whatever that she actually expressed her opinion. But other than that, she's not really in the YouTube streets. So for a person to say
Mhm.
off of face value, I could tell who's an Egyptian is and who is not, could tell you of two things of that person. That person didn't does not really have an education. And then second of all, um, you're not doing your research. So I gave people the tools to do the research, but their gaslighting and their pride and their inflated egos will prevent them from doing anything. And to me, I'm not going to go back and forth with these idiots. They could go and see whatever I am. By the time if I'm being monetized for my page or whatsoever the case may be, what power they're actually going to do. They could go and try to find a million things about what I'm doing or whatsoever, all just because I'm representing myself, I'm representing my culture, and since they have a narrative of what I'm supposed to be or what culture norms I'm supposed to have, and if I don't go through their cultural norms, I'm supposed to be a bandit or a traitor. To me, at the end of the day, I could say that the content creators that don't like me, they're not liked in Clubhouse nor on TikTok. With that said, there's a lot of people that have actually made a whole bunch of content scolding them for their ignorance. And you know what they do? The one who actually says that he's an alpha male, he actually blocks them and makes a video. The last time I checked, alpha males they actually went up and they stood up for themselves and they fought whichever accusation that was coming their way. They didn't go around and block and then like, oh yeah, you're a video, and then make a whole video talking calling a religious institution the black thugs and criminals church. So that tells you not only the type of individuals that you're dealing with, that if it was a personal matter, you would not even hang with these individuals because there's they could be easily duped, or they'll try to make a lie about a person just because what you're saying don't fit their political or sociable narratives. With that said, I'm just um I'm just at the point that with my channel and everything, I'm trying to go further because while certain people they will have like an alliance to know what they're doing, I want to make an alliance with my Asian and Pacific Island brothers. The reason why I say that is because in the West Coast, certain people they'll try to say, "Oh, these persons are owning the businesses and everything like that." I want to I want to know the struggles of people that were disenfranchised or did not live the American dream, because there's a lot of people that did not live the American dreams, and within American society, we're all stereotyped. So I want to go beyond the stereotype and seeing like, okay, what pain did y'all go through? What pain did your mother go through when y'all came to this country? Or what pains that y'all suffering from now? Because if we're gonna go and be like within our respective communities and have an ignorant mindset that oh we know everything, in the end of the day we may not know anything or everything about a person. So with that said, we have to be mindful of other people's struggles, because just because a person struggles is not your struggle doesn't mean that you have the right to disrespect them.
Mhm,
And I've learned that over the years.
mhm. Yeah. Yes. Good evening, Acosta El Rey. Good evening.
You know,
But you know, you always it seems like find these members of the peanut gallery in every area, whether it be work, school, YouTube streets, social media, or what have you.
you know,
Hmm. So, Question: have you actually seen Blood Moon face to face?
I've heard her speak, but other than that, it's just it was like this is what happened when I met Fighter in March of last year, right? He wanted to introduce me to Blood Moon, but I said no because at that date I had a dinner with friends that I've actually had, so I've actually had planned before. So me seeing Blood Moon would be for what? You know what I'm trying to say? When I've already made plans.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that was just then after that, the way that I see stuff, I do not even want to see that person because well, what benefits is gonna bring me? I mean, me personally, I could actually say that that person's a fibber because I said, okay, like for example, I said I was gonna be in the Bronx Dominican parade. The person said they were gonna go to my face and tell me that I'm a fake Dominican. Little that
Mm-hmm.
I was there in the Bronx Dominican parade, and I didn't see anybody come up to my face and tell me anything.
Mm-hmm.
To my recollection, then I went to the Bronx. Then I went to the Dominican parade in Manhattan. Yet again, that person was trying to say that they're gonna look for me to tell it to my face that I'm a fake Dominican. Maybe they were there, maybe there wasn't. But I can't really say I'll see a blood moon or whoever that person is. For some reason, that person might just be a dude with AI sounding like a woman. So I'm not even paying attention. I'm not even paying attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have actually had one brief discussion directly with Blackwell. And actually, it was on Christina's stream, one of her streams. And the topic was having to do with Latino men. Are they toxic? Well, there was this one dude that joined the panel. I think he was Mexican. And he was having issues with Fighter and Bitcoin, and I think maybe one or two other people on the panel. And then all of a sudden, he started to have beats with me when I didn't even say anything at all. So as soon as he got off the panel, um, I just raised a point, which was I don't know. I mean, I don't know what issue that person had with me because I didn't have it, and I wasn't co-signing what other people were saying. I mean, everyone has a right to express their point of view as they see fit. That was the
Right.
only time that I actually had a brief conversation with Blood Moon.
Right.
Okay. Now she has appeared on my platform a couple of times. It seems. I mean, well, but you know what? It's okay. I mean, it's not like it's disrespectful trolling. It's just more like humorous trolling because it's trolling in different ways.
Right.
Yeah, but it seems like she has an issue with you.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because she actually tried to lie on me one day on Fighter Stream, which was actually comical. She went up and tried to say, "Oh, that I was talking bad about him. Let's see. I went up and I corrected her. I was like, we mentioned your name in reference. Nobody was talking bad about you. And I actually smoked her in the conversation. And I was like, you can't even get your lies right. And on Fighters page, there's a there's a woman that I've actually spoken to that will always be on Fighters channel. Oh, shout out to Miss Maxwell, by the way. I think her name is Lexi. She used to be a video used to be in the videos, but I guess she left that. I guess she left that lifestyle. But me and
Well,
her, we actually have like a good correspondence. So it's like
mhm,
with her,
okay.
whenever that woman is yeah, Lexi Maxwell, whenever that woman's on Fighter's page or whatever, Blood Moon is nowhere to be is nowhere to be on the chats or anything like that. So I guess that Blood Moon don't like Lexi as well.
Really?
Yeah.
All, I mean, all I can say is everyone's entitled to their point of view, and that's it.
Yep.
Well, actually, is but in one of Gigi live streams, guess who popped on the panel? Hybrid himself.
Mm, typical.
I think he got upset because of my impersonation of him.
No, he should be upset. He should be upset because yeah, he can't fart straight. But that's another story.
We're talking about a person that not only is losing subs, but he's losing allies at the same time, which is like really, dude. I mean, I mean, he needs to get some therapy to deal with whatever demons um, that he's dealing with.
Right.
Now, basically, he got you see he got upset at my impersonation, and let me just share with you. This is my impersonation of Hybrid Vigor, and I'm discussing his channel.
All right.
This is the key. This is the essential unprofessional response to the privilege channel of hybrid
Oh,
figure, Tony Mulatto elite, and father of the heteronormative black white biracial mulatto movement, the
mm,
mulattoes. This channel is for me to post whatever I want, whenever I want, although I'll have a critical thinking theme. It is a channel dealing with loose ends, intro and community release, and whatever doesn't fit in our professional channels. Warning, it may get messy.
mm. Yeah. I it's like I don't know. I don't what what that dude is. I hear his name is like it's actually funny. So that he calls himself hybrid vigor when if it acts like that he really doesn't have vigor in the first place.
Well, actually, I have a new nickname for him, El Payaso.
Nah, that's too that's too good a title for him.
Yeah, well, I got other titles like Hybrid the Zero, uh, Hybrid,
No,
Hybrid the Crybaby, Hybrid the Martyr.
no, call him. No, just call him. Just what is that Sesame Street character with? And it was like a fake elephant or something like that, and they always hung out with Big Bird.
Oh, the Snuffleupagus.
Yes, that's what he is. Because think about it. No, I'm just saying, if you really analyze his speech patterns, right? It sounds that he's nasally. And then if you actually look at a content creator by the name of the Star Report, that that he talks about stuff that's happening in hip hop, he kind of actually sounds like the Canadian version of that man. And the Star Report, he's actually mixed too. He's black and Italian. But the way that he actually has like his jargon and everything like that, and he has admitted that he had that he used to use cocaine. So
Hmm.
whenever I hear well, the only time I've actually heard of Hybrid Vigor and the way that he speaks, like his snarkiness is kind of like stars from the Star Report, but yet it makes you wonder, like, did this guy used to use that nose candy? I'm not saying if he did or not, but his speech patterns actually sounds like that.
Yeah.
So, and then on top of it, the conservatism. When people they talk about conservatism, right? Conservatism is different by every country. They're like, oh yeah, you're conservative. You look like a liberal and everything like that. Okay, well, I'll tell you why that people who are conservative is different in other countries. Over here in the United States, when a person's a conservative, they're more of going on the religious standpoint and or the financial standpoint that they want to protect their riches whatsoever the case may be. And they
Hmm.
have a certain set of values. Now out in Europe, people who are of the conservative party don't really care about religion. They just care about, okay, I'm rich and you're poor, and we're gonna keep this austerity or whatever the case may be at the way that it is. And it's even to the point that the conservatism in Europe don't really care about if a person's gay or not. They just care if you're rich. And it was a
Hmm.
weird point when this guy Mike Pence actually went up and visited the um, the Irish Prime Minister and his husband. And remind you, you're both supposed to be conservatives. So therefore,
Hmm.
conservatism in general have a different correlation whenever you go to a country which is not the United States or Canada, for that matter.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I see that. I'm just looking at his. I'm just looking at his channel. I mean, he's no longer part of the 60 sub club. Now he has only 58 subs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Not only that, but he's also losing allies as we speak. I
I
mean,
mean, but then you have to really look at something, right? Or and I'm just saying this. You and I, we actually know each other, and we've actually hung out with each other.
yes.
And me and Fighter, we met each other, and hopefully, me and Radical will link up. and hopefully y'all
Yeah.
link up with Surprise. But
Hmm.
let's put certain stuff in perspective. If he's all the way in Canada, right?
Yes.
And we're in the United States, and people haven't come to visit him in Canada or whatsoever the case may be on a personal level.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying no, and this is and this may just blow a person's mind or whatever the case may be. And you
Yes.
have to think about it. Would that person really be an ally? Let's be honest. If you see people who are not actually going out their way to visit you, so I'm just saying in that case, right? What allies did he really have to begin with if he's not going to make his way to actually establish personal relations or whatsoever the case may be with these people? That's my thing. So it's not like so it's not
Hmm.
no shade towards, but if he's losing allies and he's not making personal connection with these content creators, did he really have a foot to stand in the first place?
Yeah. Well, let me just give you a rundown on some of the allied people that we used to be his allies. Of course, the latest one is
All right.
Melinda Van Gogh. The other one is Magic Mulata, which now goes under the nickname Mrs. Magical.
Okay.
So these are two examples of allies that somehow had enough with our friend Hybrid.
Right.
But I mean, I'm not trying to flex or I'm not trying to flex or anything like that. But the fact of the matter is, when you're losing allies and you're losing subs at the same time, that says something right there. It screams that you need
I
help.
mean, yeah, but then if you- but yeah, but then if you really look at it, him anything like that, sadly.
Yeah.
So it's like at the end of the day, might just like that and just be on social media that much. The people who think like him and will just say out of his talking points, or even worse. So with that said, it's just that from what I'm hearing about that individual, seems like he's whatever area that he lives in which is in Canada, that he says or in a city because he says he lives in Canada. He never said
Yeah.
what city, right? So he might be living in the outwoods and stuff like that, where he can't be the internet or whatsoever. Might might be might be self sufficient as far as what he does. I'm saying like hunting food or whatsoever the case may be. So what can he act like? And then he has all these red pill philosophies. So we don't know what this guy is actually going to do, because he has his theories and everything like that, but nobody's really seeing how he's living.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's to the point that certain people will be like, okay, he's you can't really, we just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
apparently, if you're living on his head free, apparently he's not living that much of a good life.
Yeah. No. And I would say that he's living a very lonely life. Okay. And I hate to say this, but a pathetic one at that. When he spends his time
Right.
doing nothing but reaction videos when he's supposedly trying to create a community for mulattoes and whatnot. And the fact that he's carrying on his crusade against mulattoes. I mean, that's not saying very much.
I mean, it's like, I don't know, right? Certain people that I guess that they never been emboldened before, because you never really seen anybody emboldened because of when Bush was in power or when the other Bush was in power, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for all of a sudden, I guess after Obama became president and such like that, you have certain people that are like, okay, they they're fed up with the LGBTQ movement and everything. For they'll actually go under the guise of, okay, we're not against y'all, but we are. So therefore, you have to look at the words of these fake politicians and such. Narrative of people that they don't like, and they'll make a whole reason of a person that they don't like. But the fact is, it's just that what they're used to, or what, as they think is the American dream, is actually dead, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
So with that with that how should I say, with that knowledge or so, they'll be like, okay, well, you're against me, you're against the progression of, and it comes with a new breed of fanaticism. Therefore, if you actually look at people who view bigger or whatsoever the case may be, and they're going under the guise of conservatism,
Mm-hmm.
you have to, maybe they're not saying stuff out of their own volition. They're just saying of what they heard or what they believe. When the fact is, it may not be right in the bigger things. They end up alienating their own family members just because they don't be in in tune with whatsoever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, for example, um the content creator by the name of Chivo, right? Like when
Mm-hmm.
like when Radical went up and had an interview with him, right? He went up and
Mm-hmm.
said that all of Chivo's family basically disowned him. They don't talk to him or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
When they don't talk to that man or whatsoever the case may be, there was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, that this man he's out in Dominican Republic right now, I guess, with a lot of his family members or core family members that don't talk to him. So in that aspect, we just don't know. Not only that these guys they have good in the long run. Um, when their family life is not looking good in the long run, they keep alienating the connections that might that might go and help them grow. They they return to this philosophy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, to be perfectly, you know what was my preparation to deal with some of these members of the peanut gallery? My interaction with some of the other union reps in my building.
Right.
Because I swear some of them act exactly like some of these people from the peanut gallery.
All right.
I mean, look, I remember one person, she was so abusive with her emails that I actually stated if she continued, I was going to report her for EEO for harassment.
Right. So, all
Okay.
right, I'm just saying, like in your scope, right? What will be considered an abusive email? Would it be like the type of words that a person's just writing and they cursing at you, or it just personal attacks, but
Personal
written
attacks.
professionally?
Personal attacks. I mean, to me,
I'm just trying
personal
to.
attacks are personal.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. First of all,
yeah.
you're not supposed to be using the work email for anything that has nothing to do with the job because MIS does monitor
Right.
all our communications. So
Right.
therefore, I return and stated, continue on this path.
And that's on
You
them.
will be you will be before the EEO, and I will win that case because I have all her nasty emails to be submitted as evidence.
All right.
So and then and then I had another union rep actually came to my station talking about that I'm very rude. Now, do I come across
All
as being
right.
rude? And she
No,
had an she had
but
an
if but if
argument.
but
Go ahead.
wow. But at the same time, certain people they try to take when you're a man that stands up for yourself as. I have learned that in the process.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it's just sometimes certain people trying to gaslight you.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's by dealing with those type of
Hmm.
people that deal with the members of the peanut gallery over here in these YouTube streets.
Right.
Hmm. So, it's just that all I can say is bless their hearts because they have their issues, and like I said, we all need to get therapy and just deal with whatever's triggering them, you know, causing them to respond the way that they do, and just keep it moving. But
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's been real, but I'm just gonna hop off. Thank you, Don Armando, for allowing
Like
me
it's like
on your platform. And I just want to encourage anybody that's watching this either live on the playback. Please consider subscribing to Don Armando's channel, and I think you're gonna find that you're gonna be pleased with his content. And of course, I'm gonna give a plug for my channel. If you have not done so, please consider subscribing to Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. I do try to bring some professional content regarding everyday issues. So that being said, shout out to you, Don Armando. Shout out to all the people in the chat and all the cloud watchers. And I'm just going to wish everyone a good night. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Take care. Bye.
You too. Yep. Hmm. Look like that. My laptop might need certain things. Um, but with that said, I'm just maybe maybe not um do whatever, say whatever. Um, I'm trying to see how I could be a better content creator. So hopefully there might be some more quality content that's going to come out in July and August. So stay tuned. I'm just waiting for my next guest. So I'm just gonna mute myself for a little bit. How you doing, Morena? For a little bit, it was Don Jose up in the panel and everything like that. So we were just talking about the censorship of TikTok and how other people and how, in my own thing, I think that the United States government is actually protecting us because China is actually an authoritarian country. And I was telling Jose like days before that TikTok, as far as anything else, all the businesses that we know that come from China, Temu, Alibaba, Shine, and TikTok and Huawei, all those billion-dollar businesses that that are coming into the American and Western way of life, and I could actually say that those companies always have an ulterior motive. So I was telling Don Jose that all these companies, before they actually open in China, they have to go through the Chinese Communist Party. They they could be shut down. Their lives could be shut down just because it's actually government sanctioned. So that's what I was trying to say. Because there's not like a real free market economy like in the US. Yeah, we might have to get certain stuff so therefore we could be legally protected. But to go through a political party just to make your business, nah, it's not that free. We should just actually do business. But that's just my thing. So how's everything with you, Moreno? Long time no chat. Well, I know that you're driving and everything like that. Hopefully, I'll learn how to drive one of these days. Well, I got to because I will be moving in the near future. So whenever I make that big move, I'll let everybody know when it's like 5 months later. So you have to do that sometimes. Yo, how's School Nine doing? I haven't seen her for a bit. Let's see. Hmm. Well, I guess I'm going to read the list of the government-owned Chinese companies in China. companies owned by provincial government of China. Okay. There'll be Hanwei Conch Cement, Bayan Novaris, Bank of Beijing, Bank of Dainan, Bank of Ningbo, Baotu Steel, BBMG, Beijing Shugang Company Limited, Beijing State-Owned Assets Management, Baymon Special Steel Group, Chinese Bohai Bank, China Insurance Company, Chongqing Iron Steel Company, CSC Financial, Datong Coal Industry, Datong Coal Mining Group, Dongbei Special Steel, Fengbao Iron and Steel, Founder BEA Trust, Fushan Special Steel, Gree Group, Shanghai Port. Let me see. There'll be like Greenland Holdings, Guangdong Holdings, Guangdong Investments, Guangxi Ferrous Metals, Heiko Melian Airport Company, Han Steel, He Steel Group, Jiangsu Senti Company, Jining Holding Equipment Manufacturing Group, Kuichao Maotai, Leafin Investment Group, Steel Group, Meishan Iron and Steel, Nanjing Iron and Steel Group, Regal International Airport Group, Honda, Sanonda, Shanghai Airport Authority, Shanghai Construction Group, Shanghai International Port Group. And it'll be the Shanghai Jushi Group, Shanghai Municipal Investment Group, Shaanxi Coking Coal Group, Sangxi Coking Company, Shaoguan Iron and Steel, Shenergy Group, Shentong Metro Group, Shenzhen Energy, Shaogan Concord International, Shugan Group. Okay. Now, let's see. Red chip companies. Okay, red chip. Let's see with TikTok. TikTok and its Chinese counterpart, Douyin, is a short form video hosting service owned by ByteDance. Okay. So ByteDance Limited, or Jie Tiaodong, is a Chinese internet technology company headquartered in Beijing, incorporated in the Cayman Islands. Founded by Zhang Yiming, Liang Robu, and a team of others in 2012, ByteDance developed a video sharing social networking services and apps, TikTok and the Chinese specific counterpart, Douyin. So I guess it is owned by the group of China or the CCP, because in April 2021, a state-owned enterprise owned by the Administration of China and the China Media Group, the China Internet Investment Fund, purchased a 1% stake in ByteDance's main Chinese entity and placed the government official Wu Shugang on its board of directors. So it says that that TikTok is actually state owned. So I was right after a while. So we're gonna have all these other stuff. TikTok, American and Western companies, they'll just have to make their own version. And the way that I see a lot of these Hispanista idiots going on TikTok every day talking about the same talking points, how we need to go and save our countries from the black man, and we need to preserve our culture. I mean, the way that I see it, why don't these guys just do something productive in their lives? Like just pay for a ticket and go to Europe. And if you're treated like crap, maybe you will give out or stop the Hispanista lies that you're actually telling people. But until then, I'm not going to listen to you because half of these people don't even go to Europe half the time, including that idiot. What's his name? Del Rancho. Well, we all know he ain't got a social platform no more. So it is what it is. Hey, Kisha, how you doing? Nice to have you on. So I'm just gonna put the link in the description if you want to actually jump up on the panel. Don Jose, he was here, so me and him, we actually chopped it up a little bit. I'm waiting for Lucas and anybody else that feel like they could chop it up. All right, that's cool. Got you. Mm. Let's see. Wow. Like TikTok, CapCut is banned in India. That's smoke. Billion. All right. Mark. Tweet Tiao. Zigua Video. Noobers. And other products and acquisitions. Wow. All right. Uh, how you doing,
Hey
Kaisha?
Don, how you doing? I'm doing good. Thank you for allowing me on your panel. I feel like I really haven't been here that much. Shout out to your channel and everybody. Thanks for letting me pop in.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I mean, me, I'm just chilling out. I was trying to know, but certain people are may not be in the know.
Right, right. I
Is
feel
that
that.
I think that the U.S. they might be doing a good thing, I guess, as on TikTok, because what a lot of people don't understand is that TikTok is actually is actually Communist Party owned.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. It's a lot going on with TikTok. People need to be up on those news dates, on CNN, CNBC, even the regular news to be talking about TikTok and all that. People need to stay on top of that information. Like I'm on there. I only use it for one reason, honestly, like for the filters and the features, but other people on there for different motives.
Yeah,
It's really crazy, especially the kids,
I mean
like
it's
a lot
funny
of kids is up
because
there
it's
too.
funny when people they'll be using TikTok to insult people, not knowing that there's another group that y'all don't like. That's beyond that app. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, like
Like
everything
you
is
like
connected.
it's just so confusing. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's disconnected because they were talking about because Jose went up and brought about okay that Montana is doing it, but not all the other states are doing it. So I guess it'll be implemented within next year or so.
Mm-hmm. So what are they gonna do
So
about the whole banning of the TikTok? Pretty much that's what you're talking about.
yeah, I mean, I guess it'll be the Republican led states that are going to do that because it's the Republican led states that actually believe that TikTok is harmful.
I feel like, honestly speaking, a lot of, politicians and like news media outlets and other sources want to always blame social media for what's going on, but you can't blame social media for everything. If that's the case, then every social media app should have some kind of filter or some kind of third source cross
Right.
checker when people upload content that shows like, human death or mortality, that they're not allowed to upload it because that's just like when back in the day, we were growing up, how people were trying to say, oh, hip hop is the reason why kids are murdering people. Like, you can't always blame somebody else for other people's actions
Yeah, I
necessarily. You
know.
know what I'm saying? Like, remember that time where everybody's like, "Oh, gangster rap is not
What's up,
good. Gangster
Kim?
rap got," it's crazy like that. That's not always true, in my opinion. I don't think it's always, like that. But I understand the influence is
I
strong.
mean,
The influence is really strong.
exactly. How you doing, Rakim?
What's up? What's up, Don? Shout out to my wife right there. That's my wife at
Yeah,
the
do you?
Ow, how you doing, Blue? What's
I
going
know.
on, sexy?
Happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. You saw my little
Happy
cash app. I
belated
tried to
birthday,
say
Cacho.
Yes, I
Taurus
did.
season, Taurus
Absolutely.
season. We out here. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I just feel like it's whack though, on some levels when, the government or politicians or other people try to, use social media as the culprit. Oh, I'm sorry,
yeah, I
my neighbor
know.
does my hair. My neighbor. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can tag you on her Instagram if anything. Thank you. I'm sorry guys. I'm
That's what's up.
outside, Don. My bad. But yeah, it's kind of whack sometimes, how people do that. Like, come on, take responsibility for your own.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of find it funny, right? Like within my community, and how everybody want to be Hispanistas,
Thank
and they
you.
want to talk, about that certain people are destroying Dominican Republic,
Sorry.
and
One thing.
they're talking about their conservative views. When the fact is that China don't care about your conservative views.
And talking about China, it's crazy how like in America, Don, not to cut you off, like China, like I feel like, no hate, we all know the black woman, we be in the African salon getting the hair and the products and the nails and all that. Don't get me wrong with that, but that specific group, they have so much rights that we don't even have in our own fucking country. Shit is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I definitely agree. And when you look at the history of the Chinese, especially in the United States, and how they were pretty much, placed into black communities, and black communities actually formed a camaraderie with them and helped support their businesses and everything. Only is for time to go on. And people can look into this history, especially in Mississippi. It was at one point that the Chinese, they wanted to fight um, against the white power structure, because they felt that they should not be put in the same areas as blacks either. They should be able to have, should be on the same playing field as whites. And even when you look at also the history of the LULAC over in Texas, which was the I believe people of Chicano, not Chicano, but Mexican descent, they actually fought to stay categorized as white on the census. That's something that a lot of people don't talk about, and they had very bigoted um, views when it came to allying with Black Americans during the civil rights movement.
Yeah, that's that history that everybody don't want to know. Just like we're realizing in the textbooks, everything is not adding up. And it's too late to rewrite the textbooks, and everybody want to push this agenda that it is what it is, as far as how America was built, the information that everything was built on. Like our kids, our nephews, nieces, cousins, everyone who got like relatives that's in like elementary, high school, junior high school, they're not even being taught the real information that needs to be taught. Like it's a whole subliminal like abomination when you really think about it. Like there are really parents that are actually homeschooling their kids to make sure that they get the right information. Now, do these parents go to certain kind of training before they become homeschool
Yeah,
parents? I don't know, but that's the real thing right now, 2023. People are actually choosing to homeschool their kids so they give them the right information.
And that's exactly what you have to do, because the way that the public school system is not built to favor people in order to get them to, learn valuable information. And so it's very important that people be taught at home, and even create an
or
incentive
private
for children,
schools.
or private schools.
Yeah,
Yeah.
private schools, charter schools, whatever you feel they're going, hit home for you and your family.
So it's important for people to teach
Yeah,
that information to their children, and also offer an incentive, because there's nothing that motivates kids more than money. So if you offer, hey, you want this $100, well, read me this book and write me a synopsis of this book, because this is very important information in here, and I've already read it myself, so I want something in detail. And that motivates the kid to even learn more about the history, because it's very important that they know that history. As far as the governor of Florida, DeSantis, he's actually taking efforts on taking certain Black history out of the curriculum when it comes to the public schools in Florida.
That's an interesting thing. I'm hearing a lot
Yeah,
about that too.
I mean, it's like a lot of people. They're just gonna go. They're gonna try to back DeSantis over Trump because a lot of people in the United States they actually say that this guy is going to execute violators. The violators of women and children. So I'm seeing that a lot of people are going to try to go
Yeah,
over with
I
DeSantis
definitely
because
can
they're like,
respect that. I
we
definitely can respect that.
yeah, but I just don't respect the
Yeah.
history thing because at the end of the day, so at the end of the day, kids will have to go to college to really learn their history. I mean, history is what people need to live for. And when a lot of people are actually learning about their history as them being a people whatsoever, half of these people they're just stumped and they're angry because certain people who they are. Where somebody could try to flip the narrative, so therefore they could appease to a community that to a table that they will never sit in.
That's an interesting conversation that people don't want to talk about. That's really interesting that you brought that up because that is really true. And, it's disguised in different, ways people conduct themselves in different social settings. And, even on social media, how people, present themselves. Like, that's a real good topic you just put out there, Don, for sure.
Well, it creates if you
I
put
mean, I might
people
put that out next week.
if you put people in a situation where you brainwash the majority of people against them to think that these people are inferior, and you create these images and you brainwash even those people to think themselves are inferior, it creates a self-hatred. But that's been part of the United States history for God knows how long. So that's pretty much how it goes. I mean, it's you brainwash people through propaganda, through media, you know through politics, and that's just the way that a lot of countries do that. It just the only difference between the United States and other countries is, like, a lot of other countries are more blatant. The United States tries to hide it, and they create lies and different narratives and different things like that.
But we're the home of the brave and land of the free, so they say, land of opportunity, so they say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
Now it
until the
is.
cops come around and beat you up.
Now, don't get me wrong. It is opportunity here in this country. There's a lot of opportunities and different things, but it is for you have to be willing to. It's a lot of red tape that you have to get around in order to
And
be able
blurred
to.
lines and smoke screens. Sorry
And
about that.
blur
Yep.
lines and smoke screen. For some people, it's easier than others. But for a lot of other people, like I would say specifically with us as Black Americans, things have been designed where we've been completely shut out, where um, it's a little bit more easier for other people because they don't have that stigma of dealing with the system in the same way that we have to. Um, but yeah, but it's definitely opportunities, more opportunity here than a lot of other countries. But that's because it's been designed this way. I mean, the United States have been in cahoots with other countries' governments to destabilize their country and take all of their resources for themselves, and leaving people to have to migrate here and see if they can create some type of way for themselves here in the United States.
Don, I'm gonna have to step down for a few. I'm gonna definitely try to pop back in. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry to cut it so short.
All right.
Rakim, love is real. You know that.
Anytime. You know, you always a guest there.
All
Thanks,
right,
Don.
Cashel.
Appreciate y'all. Have a good night. I'll be in behind the scenes in the chat if I can. Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Don.
how's
So
how's
what's
life,
been shaking?
Rakim? How's everything?
Oh man, things could be better,
I
man. But
mean,
taking it on the chin, just doing what I need to do. You know how it go.
yeah, man. I'm just trying to do whatever I'm trying to do. Um, you know, I'm just working, just trying to push through and everything.
Oh
Hopefully
yeah,
that
absolutely,
if
man.
certain stuff.
I was doing good till I came back home and seen something else got in my soffit. I don't know if it's a squirrel or something like that, man. So I'm waiting for the wildlife people to come out tomorrow to get this taken care of again. So it's been this kind
Wow.
of irritating,
All right. So
and I'm
all right.
looking to
So
switch
okay.
jobs. So
All right. So do you still live in the Illinois area, or you live outside of Illinois right now?
no, I still live in the Illinois area. I'm about 45, not even 45 minutes, about 35 minutes outside of Chicago.
All right. Because it's like, okay, I don't know Chicago. I don't know the demographics. I know that my sister's been there a few times. I would like to
Hmm.
go, but but the thing is though, I don't know the touristy areas. All I just see is the big buildings and such. So maybe if I ever go down there, I might just we might just link up on, you
Definitely,
know.
man, definitely, and I'll definitely show you around. It's a lot of touristy areas. It's I know you're from New York City, and it's pretty much like we're the New York of the Midwest. We got our own flavor, our own style of doing things, but we're the New York of the Midwest. It's a city of 3 million people. Close to it, there's a lot of tourist attractions and different things like that, and there's a lot of great things to do in this city. Third largest city in the United States. It's a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of different cultures. You know,
Yep.
uh, I believe Chicago is the only city in the United States to have recognized Puerto Rican enclave, which is Paseo Boricua on the
Enclave. Yeah.
northwest side.
Yeah.
Also, we have the third largest black metropolitan population outside of New York and Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is also we have a sizable Cuban population here, small sizable Cuban
Yeah.
population here. Majority of the Latin population is makes up of Mexican. Yeah, mostly
Yeah.
Mexican Americans, some Central Americans, and different things like that. But we have a sizable Puerto Rican population, Cuban population, and a little. To, and I was not aware of this prior, but to my knowledge, a small Dominican population of
I
people.
mean, because what a lot of people don't know is that this guy, the creator of Mortal Kombat, is actually from Chicago, and he's Dominican American.
Oh wow, I never knew that. I heard that some of the creators was from here, but I never knew he was of Dominican descent.
Yeah,
So
that
yeah,
dude.
I'll go right
Yeah,
ahead.
like his last name is Boone. So yeah, I was saying that his last name is Boone. So therefore, I guess he doesn't look like he's a white American, but he has a white American name. So certain people will be like, okay, what is he? But he actually said on interviews that he is of Dominican descent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite games growing up. But yeah, there's plenty of things to do, man. Some of the best food in the Midwest. We also have a very, sizable Greek population. Uh, Polish, the largest Polish population. Of course, Italians and one of the largest Irish populations next to New York City.
Right. And
So yeah,
Boston.
and Boston, yeah. So hey man, I love it. It be lit. We got our problems and all of that, but what big city don't?
Right. Let's see. How you doing, Zacharias? Okay. Uh, all right. I guess he's having technical difficulties. I mean, we all do.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
all right. This is one thing that I'm saying. Um, Me personally, I would like to actually try to make more streams about censorship or whatever have you, because it's at the end, we always going on radical, and we actually be with the niece and whosoever the case may be. But I would like to actually incorporate, or try to invite other communities in my panel also, because like we're not the only ones that struggle, because we might have a certain view, because historic wise and stuff like that. But I would like to actually talk to people that actually been like in similar struggles, and I just want to know that, okay, not everything is peaches and cream. Just because it's not our struggle, or we didn't go through the same thing, they might have went through something different. So we would like to hear about that also, without emotions involved and such, and we just take it as it is.
yeah. I mean, everybody struggles, man. Everybody struggle. Struggle is not. You know, everybody. If you human, you like. It's a lot of people that struggle. So it's important to
Mhm.
know about other people's challenges that they may have faced, and what's going on. I think that'd be interesting for people to have that dialogue. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, sure. It's just at the end of the token, we
Yeah,
just seeing
facts,
for what it is. Mm-hmm.
facts. Yeah, man, I
Yep.
definitely agree. So, with you living in Philly now, Don, what is the biggest differences between living in the Bronx and living in Philadelphia?
Well, it's kind of like the same, but it's kind of different. It's more drug addicts.
Yeah,
So when I was growing up, yeah, you had drug addicts, but drug addicts didn't go and sleep on the street. They didn't keep the street messy, even though it was the hood. But then you had the drug addicts that would just say, "Oh yeah, now give me some money," or you have the rude drug addicts or whatever the case may be. Ever since I came here in late 2016, so I do have 5 years here. No, actually, but the thing is, though, it's like it's crazy now because you know the opioid epidemic. You're hearing more people that you thought were were cool. They passing away, and then every so often, even former co-workers. And now it's to the point that I was just on the bus the other day, and there was a fiend that went up and just disrespected a woman for no reason. And it's like to the point that everybody was ready to get into a fight with this guy, because this guy always picking on a woman that goes to work. So this woman was like, okay, was calling her husband and saying if this man ever touches her and stuff like that, is going to be a case. And in New York, I know it's certain people may not say it, but every so often whenever I go back or wherever I listen to the news through YouTube, certain people are either getting slashed for no reason by people who are high on drugs, or and on top of it, since I could see that there's going to be a sizable population shift if they send all the migrants from New York to Philadelphia. So that might be another migrants up in New York. You have certain people who are thankful. I even got I recently discovered that one of my relatives actually made that trip to the border when he and his family took a plane to Honduras and sneaked over the border. So now he's in he's in New York. So he's just trying to do what he's trying to do. But as far as as far as Philadelphia being an enclave or whatsoever, I still feel that there are going to be some new measures of people actually coming through because of because of the influx of migrants, whichever country they come from. Actually,
Yeah, I think it's a lot of people coming from Venezuela, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's some coming
yeah,
from
I know it was
Venezuela.
like in the border. Yeah, I guess from a month ago or so, there was a guy that who was I guess it was recently reported, or I think Radical or somebody reported on it that there was a man that actually went up and got hit. That went up with the car. That's some anti-Latino slogans. Remind you, the man was Latino also, and he actually got drunk and hit the Venezuelan guys with the car. His car got messed up, so now he's facing jail time for unaliving those. I think maybe 2 or 3 of those people unalived uh, through that incident. So not only this guy's in the hospital and his car's messed up, now he's facing charges for that too, and he's
Oh wow,
Latino.
man. Yeah, and I heard he's some type of white supremacist. No, not that guy. That's another guy. That happened in Brownsville, Texas. The other guy was a white
No,
supremacist.
no, that's what happened though up in Brownsville, and I haven't been in
No,
Brownsville for 30
it was a
years. To
mass
tell you the truth.
shooting as well. It was a mass shooting in another part of
Yeah,
Texas. Guy was a white supremacist, and white supremacist Latin guy. He targeted some other Latin people and some Asian people. So I don't know what's that about, but man, people are losing their marbles out here, man. People are going crazy. But yeah, Don, I got to get ready to
some
jump off
is
for a minute, man. I just wanted to come up, show some support. I wish I can chop it up with you a little bit longer, but I got some things
I
I got to take
mean,
care of.
I should be having another stream on Tuesday. So
Okay,
you're
I'll
welcome. You're
definitely
always
join
welcome,
in.
bro.
I'll definitely join in. Shout out to you once again,
Okay,
Don. Thanks for letting me up.
anytime.